Whew. All right, you ready to jump into this game? Talk about a roller coaster. This Falcons-Bucs matchup had everything.
Oh, absolutely. From that opening kickoff to the final play in overtime, I don't think I breathed once.
Me neither. And, we got to start with the Falcons giving Matt Ryan his flowers, right? Ring of Honor ceremony, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, classy move by the Falcons. You could tell it meant a lot to the fans. The atmosphere was electric.
But then Kirk Cousins happened.
Yeah, he decided to put on a show.
509 passing yards. Like, seriously, that's not a typo. New Falcons franchise record. I mean, we knew he had a strong arm, but this was different. What clicked for him in this game?
I think Tampa Bay's defense might have gotten a little too aggressive early on, trying to rattle him maybe. But Cousins, when he's on, he can pick apart any defense, and the Falcons clearly came prepared.
So the Bucs sort of, played right into their hands.
Exactly. And the Falcons, they were using these quick, short passes, getting the ball out quickly, letting their receivers make plays in space.
Oh, so they were using the Bucs' momentum against them. That's pretty smart.
Yeah, very clever. And look, Cousins has always had this potential. Remember a couple years back when he almost hit 5,000 yards?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So the talent's always been there. And the Falcons, they did a great job scheming their receivers open. Kyle Pitts. After that slow start to the season, he finally looked like the Kyle Pitts we all know.
Oh, he was unstoppable. That touchdown catch. Forget about it.
Pure athleticism right there. And then you've got Drake London. I mean, the guy was open all night. It wasn't just a one-man show either. The Falcons' offense was firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, but speaking of shows, can we talk about the Falcons' defense for a sec? Because for all the offensive fireworks, it felt like their defense was giving up yards almost as quickly as their offense was getting them. And they spent big bucks in the offseason, right?
Right, they did. And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Right. What's the deal there?
Can they become the dominant force everyone expected them to be? Because this game, it was a step back, for sure. I mean, you got to give the Bucs some credit. They moved the ball pretty well despite all their mistakes.
Yeah, speaking of mistakes, Mike Evans, 100th career touchdown. What a moment, right?
That should have been.
Gives the ball away like it's some kind of hot potato. What was that about?
Well, on the one hand, you could say it was pure sportsmanship. The excitement of the moment. But on the other hand, game on the line, you just can't be doing that.
Yeah, not exactly the time for a giveaway. And unfortunately for the Bucs, that wasn't their only blunder. They just seemed to be handing the Falcons opportunities all night.
Yeah, it was an uncharacteristically sloppy performance, especially on offense. You can't win games when you're turning the ball over like that, especially against a team as explosive as the Falcons were that day.
And it wasn't just the fumbles, was it? Didn't Mayfield throw a couple of interceptions in there, too?
He did, too, actually. And not those, desperation heaves that sail out of bounds. These were, tough to watch.
Right. Off the hands, tip balls.
Yeah.
Just bad luck for the Bucs.
Yeah, sometimes that's the game, right? You can make the right reads, have the arm, but...
Inches, right. Football is a game of inches.
Absolutely. And, speaking of those close calls, that Irving fumble late in the game, that rookie running back for Tampa, brutal.
Yeah. Oh, man. He was this close to breaking it open, too.
Could have been huge. Game changer, maybe, instead.
Yeah, momentum swung right back to Atlanta. Speaking of which, can we talk about that ending? My nerves are still shot.
Oh, man. The final minutes, my heart rate was through the roof. The Bucs claw their way back, take the lead. I thought for sure they were going to ice it.
Me too. Run the clock down, game over.
Right. And then, that missed field goal. Even I thought it was over then.
I was getting ready to turn the TV off. But then overtime happened.
The energy in that stadium shifted so fast you could feel it through the screen.
It was like everyone was holding their breath. And then, Kadir Hodge. Where'd that come from?
Right. Guy was quiet all game, then bam, game-winning catch.
See, this is why you never give up on a game. And with Drake London out with the injury, nobody expected that.
Exactly. Everyone thought it was going to be Pitt's time. Shows what we know.
So where do we even begin to unpack this? The Falcons, suddenly, they look dangerous in the NFC South.
No doubt about it. They have the talent. But can their defense keep up? That's the question.
And the Bucs. Can they bounce back from this?
It's a tough loss for sure, especially with all those mistakes. They've got the experience, they've got the veterans, but they've got work to do if they want to stay in the playoff hunt.
This game really got me thinking about that old saying, defense wins championships. Does that even still apply anymore? We just saw a 500-yard passing game.
It's a fair question, especially with how explosive offenses are these days. It's easy to get caught up in those highlight reel plays.
Right.
But I think it'd be foolish to completely write off defense.
So there's still hope. for us old-school football fans.
Oh, absolutely. Look, more points are being scored. That's obvious. But defense, it's not just about preventing points, right? It's about creating turnovers, those momentum-shifting
Yeah,
plays.
those momentum shifts were huge in this game. The Falcons, as great as their offense was, those Buccaneer turnovers were huge.
Exactly. A timely sack, a forced fumble, those plays can completely change a game. It's not always pretty. It doesn't always show up on the stat sheet, but
I get what you mean. But what about this game then? It felt like both defenses were kind of quiet for most of it.
I mean, this game was a bit of an anomaly, right? We had amazing offensive performances, maybe some uncharacteristic mistakes on defense.
Yeah, okay, that's true.
Don't forget, both these teams, they invested in their defenses. It's not like they're ignoring that side of the ball.
That's a good point. They're both trying to find that balance, right? Offense wins games.
They want it all, which in a perfect world, yeah. But it's a tough balance to strike.
For sure. So, after dissecting all this, what's the main takeaway from this Falcons-Bucs game? What should we keep an eye on as the season goes on?
Honestly, this game was a reminder that the NFL is unpredictable. You can analyze, you can predict, but sometimes it's just chaos.
Tell me about it. We saw it firsthand. Nobody predicted Kadarius Hodge would be the hero. The Bucs, they just completely unraveled.
And that's the beauty of this league. You never know what you're going to get.
It keeps us coming back for more. Well said. So to everyone listening, here's something to think about. In a league that loves its stats, its predictions, where does the unexpected fit in? How much of this game is still decided by pure chance? And what happens when that randomness, that chaos, collides with strategy? Because those collisions, those moments, that's where the magic happens. That's the NFL.